Good afternoon, everybody. It is 4:20 on August 29th. Back over at the garage, obviously. This evening's object is to try and clean the floor up where I cut it out. The remaining parts there where there's some remnants. This is going to be a tricky part in here. If you remember, on this side I had the floor essentially free. There was not really anything under there, but now I've got the frame under here, so I got a bunch of spot welds in there and everything, and the firewall or the bulkhead is in much better shape on this side, so I want to try and save that as best I can. So I'll try to drill down from the top and we'll see how that goes. I might be able to get it in some way with my spot weld chisel, but we'll see. So I actually had a couple comments on my blog last night that I want to take care of. There's a little bird feather right there. How cute. Little bird feather. Anyway, so one of the comments was that the cross members that I have in here are going to be too weak to hold anything up, and I need something stronger than that. The gentleman commented that this was essentially drywall corners. I think they're a little sturdier than the drywall corners that I'm used to. But I agree that they're not incredibly sturdy. However, I am going to put the center brace in before I do anything with cutting out the dash. And even though I've got some twist here, I think this is going to be strong enough to prevent the body from trying to taco. The other side worked fine, but it's something that I'll definitely take a look at again. So thanks for that comment. The other question was from gentleman who's going to be doing the same kind of stuff that I'm doing here, and he asked where I cut the floor on the outer edge, and I think I'm going to answer his question properly, David. So essentially, I just took the grinding wheel and if I'll show you on this side, I took the grinding wheel and just went straight down at it like this, holding it on a slight angle, and just cut right on the seam where the outer sill, or excuse me, the inner sill met the floorboard. So I got that whole bottom lip of the floor is still in there, and that probably is going to have to come out in some way, shape, or form to get the new flooring. We'll see. I might be able to manhandle it out of the way, but I'm not exactly positive. So anyway, so obviously the front of the floors needs to come out. That's going to be tricky up there. Like I said, from the other side, I got some seam sealer to get rid of and everything, and then I got to finish cutting up around this bulkhead here, or excuse me, the heel board. So I'm going to have to get underneath the car. Here, let's take a little adventure. Get underneath the car, get all this stuff cut out here. That's just a bunch of spot welds. Get all that out just like I did on the other side. Again, now I've got the frame in the way, so that's going to add a little bit more complication. Oh, and before I forget, I need to tighten down the body. As you can see, there's a little space there. I don't want that to be hanging out. Let me get some light. Here we go. You can kind of see it. And I need to get these holes bolted in. Might as well get the thing as squared up and tightened down as I can. So anyway, that's the object for tonight. Pretty much, like I said, did get the rest of the floor disassembled. All the parts off of there. If that goes pretty fast, I'm going to keep going, and I'll get the hopefully, if we can get the new floor at least prepped or maybe even tacked in, that'd be great. And I've got to also assess the rear radius arm support mount here. I replaced it on the other side. I have the other one from the black car, which is in pretty good shape, and I'm mostly concerned about the base here, so we'll take a look at that and see how that looks. But this one appears to be in a little bit better shape anyway than the other one did, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, so that's a long intro. Sorry about that. I'll check back in later. All right, quick update. It's 5:48. I got that back portion of the floor all off. You can see that it's that piece is kind of beat up, especially that bottom plate there. If I didn't have another one of them, I might try to repair it, but I've got another one that's in much better shape, so I'm going to eventually drill that thing out, get that puppy out of there like I did on the other side, and get a new one. In the front kick well, or the footwell over here, I've scraped away a lot of the seam sealer, put it on heavier than I ever did, a factory that is, and I gotta get that bottom of the floor piece out. There's a little bit in this corner over here. There's a little bit of cancer that I'm seeing light through. You can kind of see it in there. So hopefully that's relatively minor, and I can just get that seam out and build a new seam up like I did on the other side. But I don't see any light coming through down as I make my way over towards where the transmission would be. So I think I'm going to have to go from the top outside over here and drill out from up here. Like I said, especially since I'm going to have to replace that seam anyway, just get this all drilled out in here and do it that way, that the painful part's going to be inside the bracket there, obviously. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet, but we'll see. All right, it's 6:25. Quick update. Sure enough, that was cancer there right at the seam, so I cut that out. I'll be replacing that piece obviously after I clean that up. And I got most of the bottom of the floor released. Just inside that bracket there is where the problem is as I expected. I didn't really look at this beforehand, but it looks like I might be smacking the bulkhead back a little bit there and there, so I'll have to watch that. But I put the chisel in there to try and pry it up, and nothing doing. I didn't think it would, but I'll have to come up with something to get in there because the drill's just not going to fit. So I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll see. All right, well, it's only 6:36, so that was a quick time in between updates. So I use this, I don't even know what these things are called. Oscillating multifunction power tool. Again, Harbor Freight. Not the best thing in the world in my experience. You might be able to see the blades there. Didn't hold up real well, but I was able to sneak that into here and get in there and cut through just enough that I could then take the I was able to take the chisel thing and pound through, so I got the piece of floor out. So this guy right here is all out. So I got that support piece, that support bracket off of there. Obviously save that, get that cleaned up. But and obviously I got to clean all this up and fix that little patch there. But I should be able to do that relatively easily. Not too worried there. Just got to remember comparing it to the other side, how it goes. So there we go, moving on. All right, it's about 20 after 8. I'm done for the evening. So quick review. I've already showed you guys, I think, the front there. Let me get a light, sorry. And what I did, just to clean that up, obviously I have that little repair there to put the new lip on. I got to cut away some of the front cap there to be able to figure that out. Straighten some of this up. This was all messed up and dented and everything. Hammered some of that out just for something to do. Cut out the new rear radius arm bracket. You can see, I'm going to kind of bend you over here, you can see how much the original one there is kind of lifted. That black stuff there, by the way, I think was like a rust preventative that the previous guy had put on. But you can see how much that's lifted there, and this one's in much better shape. There's a bunch of undercoating on that, but if it's anything like the other one was, which it looks like it, that should clean up pretty well. There's the support bracket for underneath the passenger side floor. Those things are really, really thick, so there's not a whole lot of damage to them, but obviously the floor was not very in very good shape. Save that little, this is the end plate that this was put on. I saved that just to have in case I needed an extra thick piece of metal. The heel board's done. I put a little rest converter stuff on that just to kind of keep that protected. I got to fix that little lip of the floor there because I'm going to want to cut that out and put it in straight. The problem there is I got the frame right there, so it's going to be hard and tricky to get cut. And I got that little miscut there that I'm just essentially going to come straight across with it and level it off with the rest of it. I didn't grind anything or clean anything up, but that was about it. And I think that's it. So you can come under here and look. I got all that. Where are you? Oh, where am I? There I am. Got all that welded out, or all the welds drilled out there. I got to clean the bottom of that up. I think I showed you this before, but there's no or very little cancer in the bottom front wing here. I got a little bit right here. That might actually be a little bit of a pain in the rear. But obviously I got a lot here coming into the thing. You can't really see it, but there's that thing's pretty well trashed, I think, all the way down. Worse than the driver's side was, I'm guessing. And then of course I got that extra little piece to worry about there. But that was about it. So the plan for the next trip, get that repair done up there for the firewall and the bulkhead, clean up everything back here, clean up that little piece there, and there's the floor back there, get that thing prepped and ready to weld in. And I should be able to, I would think, unless this gives me a real pain here, I should be able to get that the next trip, because it'll be a weekend. So that's it. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support of late. Couple of my videos have well over 100 views. It's pretty exciting. So you know, if this is something you enjoy or whatever, please subscribe. I've got 58 last time I checked. So exciting. Bye.